he's said that he doesn't skim the books, but then he will go out and do these videos. And here, I'll read the description of the video for how to win friends and influence people. It says, these are the 3 social rules I learned from how to win friends and influence people. 1, don't be intimidated. 2, don't be cocky. 3, impress people with your knowledge. The funny thing is that these things are like not close to the points of the actual book and what the actual book teaches. Alright guys, in this video we're going to be talking about Tai Lopez and what's the deal with him lately. So if you guys don't know, recently on YouTube and other social media, mainly Facebook, Tai Lopez has been popping up everywhere because he's apparently spent millions of dollars on YouTube ads and Facebook ads for his videos, and it's pissing off a lot of people to the point where if you go to the comments of a lot of videos, they'll pretty much be complaining about Tai Lopez, saying he's a scam artist, and talking about him. And a lot of people have made videos complaining about him. Others have made videos parodying his video ad. And his video ad is basically him behind a Lamborghini saying like, oh, it's not about materialistic things, it's about books. And then he brings out all these books and he starts talking about that, and then he says, if you join my program, I can help you become successful in life. And I think there's good and bad. The good is that he's spreading good messages and good books. The bad is that, like it or not, he's overstepped his bounds in certain ways and compromised long-term brand reputation for short-term gains and profit, and pretty much dramatically overextended on his ads. And there's this thing called ad fatigue in marketing. It pretty much means that like a guy might like your commercial if they see it once, but if they see it 2 or 3 times, they're going to be annoyed or bored. I've been seeing comments about people seeing his ad 10 to 15 times before a YouTube video plays. That's like overkill. And it's a very basic concept in advertising and marketing. And it's a bit of common sense too. So, he talks a lot about business, but like I do think like everyone still has stuff to learn, and I think he could learn a bit on that. So I don't think this is something that's great for him in the long term. And like it or not, there's been a ton of adherent fans that he has, and I've gotten into a heated argument with one of them about this, and I'm telling him that like, yeah, I think he's compromising long-term value for short-term gains by doing this. And his fan was like, no, absolutely not. So I just cut it there because I don't think it's a good thing to argue with people online. It's a pointless endeavor. But that's what I see is kind of occurring. Like he's pretty much losing people by pretty much exposing himself to every video he can. And I'm guessing the only reason he's doing this, like the only reason I can think of, is that he's still generating like a positive return for doing this. So that means enough people are buying into his program, or he's making it up in the back end somehow. I think that the bigger issue though is the fact that he's kind of also pretty much getting to be known as the get rich quick guy, and that's never a good thing, because like it or not, although there's a lot of good books out there in my opinion from really great people giving really great advice, unfortunately it gets tampered or dirtied a lot because of get rich quick schemes, and that kind of reputation bleeds to these books, and it pretty much pushes people away from reading it because they've been tricked in the past. And I think he's overstepped his bounds in certain ways in these areas. And I mean, it's literally caused people to who used to like him, some of them who have met him in person in the past, done videos with him, to change their minds about this guy. That's pretty much what one guy literally did a video on. So it's very interesting seeing all this play out. I actually knew about him about a year ago, and uh, you know, this was before he started going super heavy with the ads, and he was more so about like everything, like health, wellness, happiness. He calls it the four pillars: health, wealth, love, and happiness. And um, I guess just by the nature of the ad, it's kind of morphed into what a lot of people just call a get rich quick ad. And maybe that wasn't his intention, but I think he may have fallen too deep into the, oh, this ad sells better, this ad gets more people Buffett to buy says, it. Based off a lot of tests and testing different videos, this video converts better, so I might as well do it. It's kind of like that whole thing on YouTube where, you know, YouTubers will upload a video and they'll test out different thumbnails, and the one with the, hot girl or the boobs or revealing, pictures in the thumbnail gets more clicks and gets more views. So slowly over time they start moving more and more towards that, and every video gets slightly more into that until over time, they find themselves compromising their values or whatever by posting really, revealing clickbait videos for views, and they don't know how they got there. So I honestly think, he does provide a lot of good value and spread that, but he's definitely overstepped his bounds in terms of the type of ads and message he wants to bring across to hook people, what exactly he's teaching, and overexposing people. A reputation can take 30 years to build, but 10 seconds to destroy. And I guess the last thing is there's a bit about, honestly, there's stuff that I like about him. The fact that he is promoting really good books, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that's a great book. It's a great book on social skills and a lot of things. But, there's certain things that I feel like he's stepping above his bounds in. For instance, he did a video about that book, right? But here's the thing. First off, the video has 1.3 million views. The likes and dislikes have been disabled, so I'm assuming a lot of it was ad promotion and it got a lot of dislikes. More so than that, the video features him with a model with his Lamborghini. And he tends to do a lot of humble bragging. And I feel like, initially he did this subtly, but it's, I feel like it's gotten to the point where it's just like, it's a little too much for people. He's apparently bought another mansion and he's humble bragging about that constantly. It's a bit too much. And then, he's said that he doesn't skim the books, but then he will go out and do these videos. And here, I'll read the description of the video for How to Win Friends and Influence People. It says, these are the 3 social rules I learned from How to Win Friends and Influence People. 1, don't be intimidated. 2, don't be cocky. 3, impress people with your knowledge. The funny thing is that these things are like not close to the points of the actual book and what the actual book teaches. These are pretty much things that like he clearly does a lot himself, but as far as the actual book goes, that's not exactly where it's about. So it's this weird thing. Honestly, I do think there's definitely still good points about him, but I do think he has a lot of things he needs to iron out and fix. And he also does a lot of live talks, and I feel like he is definitely stretching beyond what he should in terms of like what he claims in these live talks. He'll talk about like gold and then he'll talk about like finance and like what to invest in and how to raise $10 million. Some of these things are just very bold claims, and I know enough about gold and all these other things to know that it's not a simple concept. It's like you know enough about rocket science to know that it's not something you just, you know, talk about. Like someone has to really like do this specialized as a profession to know what they're talking about. So, nonetheless, this is not a hate message. This is not something to hate on him. Honestly, there's certain good points about him, but certain things he's definitely crossing the line a bit. Despite that, you know, it was good and bad to him. I wish it was all good, but unfortunately, the lines have blurred. Some of the good, you know, he's done charity work. He's done charity work recently. Most of the haters have never donated a cent to charity. Some of the bad, I've already mentioned. Um, Honestly, will it work out? I don't know. I do think though, like based off how he's going about it, he may be branded as a get rich quick guy, which may not be what he wants to go down uh, in history for. So he really has to get his act together in certain ways. Um, and I guess the last thing that needs to be said is that you know, every decade, every few years, there's always like some type of get rich quick guy. A few decades ago, it was infomercials, and these people who had like yachts, and they would do like some type of infomercial on yachts and get you to buy their product. And now it's this, and it's not just him. It's not just Tai Lopez. There's plenty of other people who still do this, but none of them are as prevalent as he is right now. And I do think like generally speaking, the general world has kind of gotten savvy to that whole thing, and they've been jaded, which is a bit of a tragedy because I do think there's a lot of great material and great advice from great people and really good books from really accomplished individuals. But I do think that people have gotten so jaded to the point where it's just like they don't trust it anymore. They're like, oh, all these books are get rich quick books. In fact, that's kind of what someone told me once. Um, I was checking out these books from the library, and they're just like, oh, you gotten rich yet? And this was years ago, before any of this occurred. He seems to be doing fairly well right now, at least financially. Who knows? I think, you know, long term, looking at things in the long term is always important as well. And so hopefully, I hope he gets his act together. And that's all I gotta say.